there we have it. Let's finish on the Italian team there. Let's see how they can get on in day 2. I think everyone's favourite story yesterday, we're just seeing the Finnish side there, had some good results, didn't they? When we saw Kosu come into the team and the coach was saying he really lifted that side, which was really lovely to hear. But one of the sides that were speaking more maybe about food, weren't they, than their performances, was the side from Morocco, coached by Mr. Dory. The 3 Moroccan players are more like brothers than teammates, as we heard earlier this week.
Так, всем алоха, дорогие друзья. Мы стартуем сегодня у нас второй день eNations 2023. Вот такая вот таблица группы Б. Наши братья марокканцы на втором месте. Трансляция уже началась. Заходите на канал Титан Топ-1, где тут ссылку оставлю. Болеем за саудитов. Да, они на 4-м месте.
We're family now, you know. We're just not a group. We're just spending time being in the swimming pool, going out together, having. We're trying to have the most time together.
At the start, it was hard to adapt to each other, but now we are like a family, and now it's good.
You stole my question.
I do not know. He lived for the cameras. He loved it. We have a very tough group with big opponents, but I think we can make it. We are one of the 4 favorites of the group, I think.
For us, the target is to go for the to be champions. We're here to win now.
We want to show what we are able to do, make people proud of us, and Moroccan people to be proud of us.
Watch out.
Don't underestimate Morocco. Don't underestimate Morocco.
Okay, watch out.
Сейчас, друзья, сейчас я сделаю ссылки в инсте, все раскидаю. Правда, во все группы. Сзади еще у нас играет Анджи Бёрд против Елен Рыбакина.
Well, my mum's actually done some cooking. Would you like to try the treats? Absolutely, Sabiri. Come and join us here and show us exactly what your mum has been cooking. What treats have you got? Are these traditional Moroccan treats here?
Yeah, first of all, I'm gonna say hello. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you.
This is we have special food in Morocco.
Саламчик, жаль, что не прошли. Да, есть такое. Обидно немного. Валейкум ассалам, Мухтар. Кэску подрубай. Брат, ты именно FIFA персонально не хочешь смотреть. Я был обжатор. FIFA eNations 2023. В том году мы eNations 2022 был в датском Копенгагене, в этом году в Саудовской Аравии, в городе Эр-Рияд. eNations 2023, но уже без нас.
So this is famous sweet kanji. There is a lot of them. There is some is made with peanuts, and some is made with almonds. And this is when we have important celebration in Morocco, we put this in for celebrate something like wedding or stuff like that. So it's important.
Что он принес?
I think you're gonna like it. So
perfect. Alex, take one, pass it on. Sabiri as well. One quick question to you as we're going to jump down into the matches. Morocco doing so well yesterday. Are you expecting to continue that form today? And have they been eating these for breakfast?
Of course, we always trust in Morocco.
Все отлично, брат. Насчет чего 2-2?
That was something great and changed a lot of things in future. Like our coach say, Jiruni, Jima Maghreb. So always we go further. We put a lot of effort because there is a lot of fan and supporter. They support us from Morocco, and we need to put all in. So we're gonna be proud of us. So yeah, this is we come here not to just compete, but for winning.
Well, we'll have to see, Sabiri. Thank you very much for treating us here as well.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to Morocco as well.
Sven,
I believe you're down there ready for some interviews. I'll save you one of these, I
Сейчас
promise.
уже начнут матчи. Так, у хозяев турнира ОМС Зассари возьмут сейчас интервью, послушаем. MS Dossery.
Good to see you as well. It's a good day for you guys yesterday. 3 wins, 2 losses, 9 points. You hoping for more of the same today?
Yeah, I think we're kicking off of how we started yesterday. Yesterday 9 points. We're looking to get as much as we can today.
How proud are you that this tournament is getting hosted in your home country?
Офигеть, ему 23 года.
Done a lot in the history of FIFA, including yourself.
Всего на пару лет старше меня.
It's great to actually have the event taking place here, right?
I mean, you know, since we spoke 5-6 years ago, and even with the guys from FIFA, that I always have a dream to play here in my hometown.
Это всегда была мечтой сыграть у себя дома.
How do you like playing 2v2? Obviously, world champion is a 1v1 player. How do you find this setup?
Well, if you would ask me what do I prefer obviously 1v1, but I'm happy that I have a talented player as Ahmed Abu Makka and even Gotmo.
Ахмад Абу Макка. Типа, для меня, конечно, приоритетом является игра 1 на 1. Она мне больше нравится, но играть в команде с Ахмадом Абу Макка, он тоже рад. Вот они, канадцы, наши соперники того года. Кажется, у него прыщ мощный. Это все, что я могу сказать о Get Power. Чемпионат. 2-2 чемпионат. Все равно, брат, не понял, причем. Валейкум ассалам, когда последний играл в ВЛ? Очень давно, очень. Я последний 14 сделал, больше не захотел. Нормально, кстати. Послушай Тимура, правильно говорит. Ношенька, что ты творишь?
Best of luck,
Ты
Team
где?
Canada.
Я не знаю, брат,
Getting ready. I'm looking forward to this one. There's going to be some big matchups coming up as we get towards the end of the group stages.
Живу здесь, транслирую для вас FIFA eNations 2023.
Through safely Team Canada as well, so they're confident. Brandon's confident on the sofa as well. Mike LaBelle is just joining us as well. You missed a chat after we'd just finished eating all the lovely treats that were given by Morocco about Team USA. Have you had a chance to get in the camp today and have a chat to them about day 2?
Well, I talked to CJ a little bit last night. I saw him sitting down with Lamps. I expect to see them in action a lot more here. I think CJ and Lamps both have had a lot more experience competing the last couple of years compared to Fiddle, and we have to make moves here, but it's for the taking. That's a positive. When you have an off opening day, sometimes you don't get a second chance, and they definitely are in a position where you can still control your destiny.
Did they chat about why they made the decision and what tactics they changed in that Malaysia game when they did get the victory there?
There's not major shifts here. In terms of the team, it's more about the substitutes of the actual players, capabilities.
Так, все, видимо, начали. Голландцы с Канадой, первый матч. Ну, кстати, не самый крутой матч нам дали eSports. Да не, ну Голландия должна убить их, Канада это вообще слабая. Ну, голландцы очень мощная сборная, молодые игроки. Вот ты вообще не заходишь? Не, последнее время нет. О, Дания, Аргентина, вот, дайте нам этот матч. Андерс Вергранд с Усуном или Маркуза против Николаса. Ну, это матч легенд.
We had the big discussion, didn't we, about changes, and I'm sure we're still going to see some more finding their best team as we speak about that Italian side.
Подачку хотели аргентинцы сделать на дальний, мяч от них уходит. Терри Анри на делифта. Оп, хайлайтсы уже. Кто забил? Италия забили United States. Ну не, Италия должна убивать, молодцы, на третьем забили. Я за итальянцев болею. Дания, Аргентина играет. Да-да-да. Вот. Нам и спорт сдали наконец их. О, Маркуза играет с этим. Маркуза с Верграном играет. Капец, старый игрок Маркуза с молодым самым Андерсом Верграном. У них самый такой дуэт с разных возрастов. А с той стороны играет Матиас Банано и Никола Велальба. Николас и Банана. Что творит? Это Вергран забил. Это Вергран, бетон. Какие-то сумасшедшие действия случайные. Но хотя не, Вергран не радуется. Походу Маркуза забил. Обычно Вергран, если забивает, он там прыгает сразу. Турция сел, Оркашан Шрат. Турция на первом месте. Италия забила. Еще Дани, Питбули и Аркача. Мои два любимых игрока, с кем я капец сколько матчей провел. Тот Мбаппе. Турция на первом месте, 13 очков из 15. Очень легкий гол, пас низом, штрафной удар, гол. И они сейчас тут на первом месте, они играют в 11 часов. У них второй заход, они группа С. Так, Дания у нас не останавливается. Вытягивает за собой игроков защиты, но Маркуза, видимо, не понял этой задумки и не успел открыться. Так, еще один хайлайт. Голландцы забили канадцам. Ну, это очень тоже простой легкий гол. В принципе, закономерно. Так, Малайзия забивает Марокко. Нашим братьям забивают Малазий за аутсайдера этого турнира. Марокканцы привезли себе. Так, Дания. Маркузу, как он наворачивает одного защитника. Жоа Фельдш почему-то играет в центре поля. По флангу Эдуардо Камавинга. Нужно просто посадить команду соперника. Ну, в этом противостоянии даже не знаю, за кого я болею. Я и не за Аргентину, и не за Данию. Не знаю, мне команда Дании не прям симпатизирует. Ничего в них такого не вижу. Ни в Аргентине, ни в Дании. Он же брейканул Рыбакина. Неприятно. Походу, все-таки Рыбакина проиграет этот матч. Если она не сделает обратный брейк. Малайзия забивает второй гол нашим братьям. О май гад, как это неприятно. Так, домашние заготовки. Рафа Варан направлял удар головой в дальний угол. Михаил Бала, кажется, подает. Опять подача на Рафа Варана. Он уже бьет ногой и забивает. Да, домашние заготовки от аргентинцев все-таки принесли плоды. Счет 1-1. Катар, Саудовская Аравия играет. Две команды Ближнего Востока. И Саудовская Аравия, хозяева турнира, думаю, они должны забирать. На самом деле, я не знаю вообще, как Катар прошел. Мы играли с ними, мы их уверенно проходили. Ну, Саудовская Аравия держит мяч. В принципе, это стиль МС-Досари, медленно катать. Удар в красный ТФ и еще он как-то опасный. Вирджил Ван Дайк. Петр Чех на левом фланге. Отдает на Тири Анри. Нет, далеко не пошел. Так, хайлайтс нам сейчас покажут, кто забил. Дания пропускает. Прострел? Нет. Магиди. Удар с отменой, эластику, гол. Это очень хороший гол. Удар с отменой и эластику. Это очень круто. Что, сразу третий? Или нет? А нет, ну просто дали. Да, неприятно. Датчане вначале забили гол, и после него еще в первом тайме уже упустили преимущество и даже теперь проигрывают.
We talk so much about these substitutions or player rotations.
У Рыбакина
and this is my theory, of course. It's more
на
or less
подаче
for
Жабер
the group stage to decide
15-30.
who's going to play in the brackets. I don't think we're going to see this type of rotation or adjustment when we get into the best of three, unless you need something drastic to change or something drastic to happen where there's a clear disaster or it's just clearly not working. I just don't think it's going to happen at the same degree where we're seeing so much almost predetermined interchangeability. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with August, but some of these teams look as if they've already decided you're going to play game 2, we're going to play game 4, we're going to play game 5, and it's not necessarily about what's happening on the virtual pitch.
Do you think when you're looking at your 2v2 and your ideal 2v2, you build it around what we saw Brian for France talking about? We have LJR as our one-player profile.
Хорошо, 15-40. Рыбакина идет на обратный брейк. Сильный пас штрафную. Неймар как разваливает. Это, видимо, был как раз Андерс Вергран. Очень хорошее движение по приему. Небольшая остановка. Пару движений за счет L1 или R1 дриблинг. Кажется, R1. И эластико удар.
And to a certain degree, it's more planned if you know you have one guy in position, and then you're kind of rotating around to make sure you're getting whoever's in the best.
Один брейкпоинт отыгрывает сразу, он джабер. Эдуардо Камавинга, почему-то все Гиндузина, центральный защитник. Так, хайлайтс. Кто же забил? Итальянцы, я думаю. Малайзия делает 3-0 в первом тайме против Марокко. Что-то невозможное происходит. Чтобы вы понимали, у Марокко они идут сейчас на втором месте, 11 очков из 15. У Малайзии одно.
And it's Adam Hatate that's come in to play alongside Marwan.
There we go. There we go.
It's a brave sub to make 36 minutes in, but they want a change and they need a change.
Mike, you're getting back in it.
40-40 упустила Рыбакина. Не додавила ее. United States забили 1 гол итальянцам. Уго Льорис теряет мяч в центре поля. Килиан Мбаппе на ускорении пробегает по флангу, но останавливается, ищет центр, обратно на правый фланг. Так, Катар у нас, походу, забил. Чё за мертвый Бэхэм? Садбол уже бил 3 очка подряд и взял. Ой, какая подача, Биллингем, прием! Удар ножницами, Саудовская Аравия чуть не забила гол Катару. 40-40, Рыбакин, я отвернулся, она взяла очко. Видимо, нельзя мне смотреть. Михаил Балок, как Саудовская Аравия не может им забить, я не верю. У них капец сборная сильная. Так, нет, это не хайлайтс. Опять угловой. Посмотрим, забьют ли еще один мяч Аргентина со своих наработанных угловых. Варан. Варан сумасшедший. Адвантаж. Вторая подача.
About the small margins, just finding it. Mike's just pointing towards the screen.
I need a replay. I need an instant replay ASAP.
Mike, would you like me to look at you now? What's happening over in the USA match?
Брейкпоинт 6-6. Походу, Дания забила. 6-6. Елена Рыбакина. Ой, как фалят, смотри, канадцы. Руда Гулита не остановить. 2-0, счет, до свидания. У меня с канадцами не самые лучшие отношения. United States, Роналдиньо забивает и сравнивает счет. Офигеть, итальянцы. Люди, на кого я надеюсь, что они выиграют чемпионат. Там мои хорошие друзья. Аргентина все-таки у нас забила, да. Хоронят они Данию. Дания, кстати, на 4-м месте. Им победа очень нужна. Они не так уверенно играют в таком дуо в этом турнире. Окей, Андерс Вергран выиграл турнир Е-клаб, тоже парный, но с Умутом. А уже в другой паре, видимо, у них не получается. Решфорд. Что это было? Рыбакина уже одну очку взяла. Ой-ой-ой, как жабер с удара просто. 1-1 тайбрейк.
With Anders, and Anders said they're getting grouped. But if you know Anders, that's also just kind of how he talks. And I don't like read into it too much, but that happened. And I don't know if there's a bad etiquette in talking about the sauna and ice bath talk and discussion. I'll wait for August to rule on that.
With you, Mike, I never know which way you're going. But let's come back to Aggie there and speak about that.
Не знаю, мне кажется, Аргентина как-то очень легко играет с Данией, как будто это мешки какие-то, они прям чувствуют.
I think that sometimes it can be hard to read exactly what Anders is saying. In Denmark, we're also very happy to
Хорошо,
be
мини-брейк от Рыбакина.
with Anders'
Италия.
I mean,
Ой, какой заброс! Идеально! Это что сейчас сделали итальянцы? Они еще в 22-й фифе так делали. Как у него получилось на метров 5-6 так легко заброс сделать? Чемпионат мира по FIFA.
I hope so. I got them top of my table in our predictions, so I'm back in them as well. I guess.
I think the conversation around
Да, в Саудовской Аравии.
Do Denmark drop down? I think it just depends on how Qatar get on against Canada and how Qatar get on against Denmark. It really depends on
играл за Казахстан, но
everything that they do today. They are a driving force in that back line. There was a break.
Франция, у них, оказывается, 0-0 было, и чё за удар забивает Зубастик? 2-2 мини-брейк от Джаггер. Ой, хорошо, Сейса, уверен. Ну, марокканцы, братцы, чё вы не будете сравнивать счет? Хорошо, проход по флангу. Не, видимо, нет. Чё это такое?
Different team coming into day 2 here. Alex?
Линию подала. 3-3.
There's always one team that has a brilliant day 1 and they just can't match that same energy in day 2.
Уголерист. Ой, хороший пас. Лусио закрывает. Кто? Так, хайлайтс. Кто? Канадцы забивают Голландии. Эластико, удар зеленый ТФ. Хорошо. Хорошо. Мяч аж застрял в сетке.
They probably did enough. Yes, this is only game 1. They are going to get points over the next few games. At some point, you're kind of sure of that. When you have such a good day 1, which we saw Morocco do in that Group B, it can be difficult to hit that same level.
Mike, why do players lacking consistency over 2 days?
FIFA is just one of those games sometimes, and we need to see more from Morocco today. This is their first game, maybe a little bit slow starting.
Мини-брейк от Рыбакина, вам 4-3. Нужно свои 2 забирать и выходить на сетболы. У нее еще не было в этом матче сетболов, только уже бер.
Now, we'll see how they perform today and what kind of momentum they carry through, but either way, worst case scenario, get a couple points, you're going to secure moving forward, moving onward, and then it's another reset tomorrow.
We heard some shouts and screams from behind us from the Arabic commentary we have, and obviously they are going to be shouting if their local side scores, and that is Saudi have scored. They've got 1 goal against Qatar as we approach the final stages of that game as well, Brandon.
5-3, vamos! Хайлайтс на 90 минуте, хоккеист забивает, Саудовская Аравия, вперед! Забивает они сборной Катар, Италия. 90-я минута. Но нельзя пропускать США, это аутсайдеры этой группы. Хорошо. Камон, 6-3, Елена Рыбакина. Горела 5-6, сделала ответный брейк и тайбрейк, ну, почти занесла. 90 минут, красная карточка. Молодец, итальянец зашарил, что нужно ломать. Штаты забили все-таки.
Beautiful. I don't know if they have me on camera there. I'm very
I hope they have you on camera.
That. Yeah, happy days. This is what we didn't have yesterday. We didn't have any fight back. We didn't face adversity well. We got blown out a couple times. This is how we start the day. I know it's a draw, but we scored 3. I don't want to talk about the conceding side, but this is good. This is good. We can work with this.
That's just not giving up right until the final whistle there, Mike, as well.
You got to show some heart. There's a lot of moments they could have given up in that game, too.
Lamp screen that as well, by the way.
I noticed that. That's not easy to do. You're under pressure. And you could argue you don't need to. It's unnecessary. Took green time it off the volley, open goal. We'll take it. We'll take it. Confident man.
Малайзия просто летит убивать этот Марокко. Остановитесь, пожалуйста.
Live now. 8 minutes left to play. Malaysia still in front, 3-1.
Так,
The free kick looked to be smart, to try and slow down that game. Got that red card as well, just to break up that counter attack. They just didn't clear their lines, didn't sort it out. The keeper comes out from that cross that we saw. But again, we have to give credit to the US to take that on that strike in that last minute, knowing it is your last possible chance.
Это камон называется, Елена Рыбакина, камон. Первый сет за нами. Vamos.
Oh, they shorted the chip there wasn't quite precise enough. And the reason we're bringing up the US game is because it starts to build a little bit of a narrative, and I'm very biased, fully. And I feel like there was a third point that I wanted to add into that.
Finland lost. Finland, who are sat right now third in that group, they lost. Fourth, sorry, I should say. Which that's vital, right? If you're the US, yes, you got a point there. Over Malaysia, you picked up 3 points. Finland starting the day on that loss could change things massively.
Sorry, ребят, не мог не запечатлеть этот момент.
Well, this one, then, Malaysia have had a great start, haven't they? I'm sure Morocco aren't going to get two in, what, a minute. But it is still game on for Denmark. They're still behind against this side from Argentina, 3-1. And time is running away from them.
I also think we should track back again and look at Group B here. Italy's not really that safe. They're on 8 points here. You got 5 points for Finland, 5 for the US, 5 for Malaysia. This is starting to open up a little bit in Group B. Might not have expected it, but anything can happen here. And Italy had moments that they looked fantastic yesterday, and then other moments where we started, at least for me, I looked back at Exceed, which was one of the favorites, and we're looking at E-Club with the Italians, and they really under-delivered in terms of our own personal expectation, probably their own personal expectation as well.
Well, the Italians gave away some big points in that opening matchup. Denmark looked to be doing the same, actually. Could get one back there. Not enough time now.
Да, хорош, Мухтар. Ну, на самом деле, сейчас мы посмотрим таблицу, и я очень разочарован, то, что Аргентина настолько легко играет против Дании. Дания это вообще не слабая страна. Можно еще на дальнюю. И прием дальний. Пожалей. Ой, даже так забил. Даже так. Причем Дания сделал во время матча прям замену Устуна на Маркузу. Да. Уго Лерис забивает левой ногой. Уго Лерис забивает. Неприятно. Все, пошли пожать руки. Вергам еще ушел куда-то. Сразу, смотри, вниз ушел. И бомбит. Смотри, просто бомбит сразу. Даже Николасу не пожал руку, неприятно. Так, посмотрим группы. Саудовская Аравия на первом месте. Голландцы на втором, те, за кого я болею. Аргентина на третьем. А, нет, Аргентина выиграла, они сейчас на первое место. Да, Аргентина на первое место. Дания все так же на четвертом, но они, походу, выиграют. Типа, выйдут из группы. У них Канада и Катар, я не верю, что Канада вообще что-то может сделать в этой жизни. Группа Б. Марокко проиграл вообще. Кстати, Марокко повезло, что Италия пропустила на 90 минут от Штатов, и тем самым у них сейчас есть разница 3 очка. Финны, Малайзия и Финляндия по 5 очков. Вот эта группа интересна. Здесь непонятно будет до последнего момента, кто из них вылетит. У 3 команд 4, 5, 6 место по 5 очков. Причем Малайзия выиграла у фаворитов. Прикол. Теперь у Малайзии нужно выиграть Штаты и финнов. Ну, по крайней мере, только Штаты. И они опустят их в 5-6 место.
Yeah, of course, very happy, but still aiming for that first place. And well, at the moment, 3 points lead, but we need more in the next game.
Два брата-близнеца у сборной Франции. Это Диого Пашота, а это Леандро Пашота. Вот я с ним играл, когда топ-17-24 в мире взял. Я против него играл. Я первый матч... Короче, я летел примерно в 2 мяча, что ли, если не в 3. И потом я подключил узкий ромб, похавал скитлс, выпил сок, жестко закинулся, можно сказать, и потом его унес там чуть ли не 6-4, 6-3. Короче, он потом вообще вышел из матча. Я его прошел. Прикольно, французский, английский такой мягкий.
Against some opponents and Diogo fits more against some others, so yeah, depends as well of the opponents.
Okay, great stuff. Keep it up. France doing very well. 14 points, most points of anyone in these 2 sessions so far, unbeaten still. They just played Finland. I'm going to go into the Finnish booth here. I've got a question for you guys because we just obviously saw you play France. They've got the Peixoto brothers. Are you guys brothers as well?
Yeah, I think we are playing good, but we are not able to score our chances. It's like Francis Liita, like it's just FIFA.
Yeah, of course, it's not the best result. But just to clarify, these 2 brothers, are they related? They are. So we had a brother versus brother battle there.
Они реально братья?
It must be amazing to
Я не знаю обоих, я не знал, что они братья.
And your family at the same time.
Yeah, it's very special because there is no many brother duos playing. So it's amazing to share this stage with my brother. I can hard to explain how I feel when playing with him.
It's very cool. It's very cool to see. Let's talk about your form in general.
Какой-то вообще он безэмоциональный квасок.
5 points now. Still looking for a second win. 4 games left. What's the points total?
Yeah, obviously we could have way more points now, but I'm very happy with how we played again. Like, if we keep playing like this, we will get wins for sure. Like, I think we deserved way more on that game. They only created 1 chance and they scored, and we had many like few, almost chances.
Он говорит, что в игре с Францией мы создали шансы, но не смогли, мы заслужили большего, но проиграли. Еще один эйс от Рыбакина, 40-40. Эмри Алмаз играет тут. Да, Эмри Алмаз играет в Голландии, в сборной Голландии. Брат, ты же вроде говорил, что турнир будет в Германии. Нет, Саудовской Аравии. Я не помню, про какой турнир я говорил, брат. Вообще, про турниры в Германии что-то я не помню такого. Авантаж Рыбакина с 0.40, она делает адвантаж. Advantage Rybakina.
We're talking 2004, 2005, 2006. If anybody wants a history lesson.
Brandon, you've got another pair?
Yeah, Rafs are immense. Didn't know they were brothers until probably like 2 years down the line. But unfortunately, they're not here representing France.
So a lot of
FIFA
brothers have kind of come and gone, and obviously have 2 today, which is pretty lucky for us as well. But let's just recap then on the standings, because it's getting pretty close in Group B. I'm going to start with that then, because I've teed it up. France then, the only team still to go unbeaten, as Spencer just said there. Morocco then, unfortunately, came unstuck, didn't they, in their first matchup against Malaysia on 11 points.
Вот они нам показывают таблицу. Французы на первом месте. Молодцы, достойно. Ну, Франция всегда считалась сильной командой. Марокко на втором, красавчики. Саудовская Аравия на втором. Молодцы наши братья, хорошо пока идут все. И Саудовская Аравия, и Марокко, и Турки. Брат, какой монитор предпочитаешь для FIFA? На самом деле, я вообще никогда не был таким, что вот этот монитор мне нужен, вот такой джойстик, там, я не знаю. Мне вообще разницы нет, какой монитор, какой джойстик. Главное, чтобы он не был небольшой, 24 вроде дюйма, и 1 миллисекунда отклика, да и все. Врубай, Уимблдон у меня за спиной, брат. Жабер уже ведет. Саудовская Аравия, Голландия, очень крутой матч. Хозяева турнира против потенциальных победителей, я думаю. Голландцы сильные очень.
Yeah, already a change as well for the Netherlands.
Мануэл Бачо. Кто, интересно, сейчас играет? Кто в составе сейчас у голландцев? Насколько я услышал, только что комментатор сказал Мануэль Бачо и Эмри Алмаз. То есть они Леви де Вира, возможно, сейчас посадили. Может, они просто говорили в общем про весь состав. Переступ с отменой. Остановка. Пас-центр. Ищет еще центр. Еще форвард. Ускорение лишнее, Загульта нажал. Так, уже хайлайтсы. Кто сразу забил? Аргентина. Сразу с углового. Михаил Балок. Просто заготовки угловых, сумасшедшие какие-то аргентинцы. Это Николас их натренировал, я уверен. Так, Марокко. Марокко с финнами. Они пока просто дают пасы, чтобы у них схема расставилась. Вира. Кстати, ни у кого нет Виры. Если бы мы прошли туда, я уверен, мы бы 100% Виру заигрывали. Для меня это вообще самый любимый футболист во всех фифах. Это Патрик Вира. И в новой фе обязательно я буду его использовать. Хорошо. Такой Камби? Что за сборная Камеруна у них? Это и Камби. Хайлайтс. Аргентина, сильный пас, Терри Анри, Канада, до свидания. Малайзия. Только не говори, что они еще Италии забивают реально. Малайзия выиграла. Марокканцы, которые были на втором месте. Теперь еще итальянцев, которые на третьем. Офигеть, Малайзия, что? Они, как мы, включились, что ли, только во второй день? Блин, Жабер забрался. Жабер вонючка.
It's hard on this little screen, but that looked absolutely beautiful. We'll jump over this one though, Mark.
Дания забила гол Катару. Катар просто 3 защитника умудрились привести. Финляндия, походу, какой-то опасный угловой. Тоже заготовка. Чехом открывается. Пеле подает на Чеха. Гол. Чех головой забивает своей этой шапкой, хотел сказать. Братья. 2 родных брата, прикиньте, у Финляндии. Вообще не похож. Малайзия. Ну, Малайзия вообще нереально, как они что-то делают. Итальянцам нужна победа. Какая ошибка простая. Соболенко прошла дальше.
I think France might be due to drop some points. It would be a lovely time for them to do that, dropping right here and right now, but I think they're due. I think they're due. We really don't see
удар щеткой, Малайзия. Она не останавливается.
And even in the bracket stage as well, we've seen a lot of extra time, a lot of penalty kicks, surprise results, drama, ups, downs, roller coaster rides, all sorts of different activities this summer.
And when we're looking at Group B now, Morocco is losing as well to
Italia.
Could be 3 spots off the grabs in that group for the 5 remaining teams there.
Лишний финт или нет? Нет, он не теряет мяч. Отдает спиной на форварда. Если бы это прошло, я бы подумал, что в сборной Малайзии появился Андерс Вергран, который отдает все пасы спиной, и они проходят. Как они давят Малайзию. Меня удивляют. Все, не выбрасываем фланг. Хорошо. Хорошо. Сейчас будет сказать форварда? Нет. На фланг. И открывается за Биллингема. Очень круто он руками это сделал.
Stay then here. Italy also need points, so don't they, in the same group we've been speaking about. Malaysia have found something. They ate something special, didn't they, for breakfast?
Сильный пас, Зубастик. Зубастик чуть не сравнял счет за сборную Италии. Так, будет ли сумасшедшая какая-то подача от итальянцев?
So the Italians can get back in this one.
Нет, очень легко, просто в руки.
Side as well. Obron comes into this game. It's Katja that sit on the sidelines. Obron and Danny Pipple leading up there. 8 minutes away from half time. Malaysia look like a completely different team even day 2. Let's see if we can jump across the board. To Argentina against Canada. Topped the group yesterday, did Argentina. Did speak to Nicholas and I said, Eze Correa is in your team as a third player. Will he feature in day 2? He said, look, let's see how the first couple of group games go. I'm sure Eze will get a little bit of a run out in the group stages, and as it looks right now, they're cruising.
Mr. Correa is a fantastic FIFA player, but I just can't see him actually getting into this rotation. We're dealing with, we've said it a little bit, I teased it yesterday, maybe the future Nicholas, the next Nicholas, when you're looking at Matias Medano, kind of following the exact same footsteps as well, moving over to Europe. It's wild if you think back of not this ECL, but the previous ECL, the only 2 Argentinians also both made it to the finals and obviously played against each other. It was Argentina versus Argentina with the only 2 Argentinian players in all of Europe.
Well, Mike, USA have kicked off now against France. Early doors in that matchup. 5 minutes been played as a lot of these other games go to half-time, and including this one we're on here, Argentina-Canada there.
Марокканцы забили финнам на 45-й, кажется, Айман и Адам Хатек. Даже не знаю, кто это. Переступ и удар, видимо, в зеленку в дальний. United States, Франция. Почему они долго как-то начинали? Все уже отыграли первый тайм. Франции нужно набирать очки. Ой, не Франция, а Штатам. Чуть-чуть собирается бить отсюда. Нет, пас. Что-то какой-то странный розыгрыш.
Being a possibility. I haven't got to the permutations. I haven't called in Mr. Buckley, but as it stands, 3rd and 4th place, we could get to talking, we could get to discussing, we could open up that conversation.
Просто пытаются давить пока что какой-то медленной атакой. Нет, Тиренри, как уверенно француз забирает за сборную Франции. Уго Лерис отдает обратно Анри, проход по флангу. Поторопился. Один зубастик в окружении 4 игроков сборной США. Тиренри теперь за другую команду. Льюрис забирает у Льюриса. Буфон. GG Буфон.
I think it's good to have a little bit of a flip-flop, and coming into day 2, we didn't necessarily think
15-40 Рыбакин ведет.
A little plot twist.
We should go and see how the Netherlands are getting on against Saudi Arabia.
Франция. Магиди с отменой. Эластико. Тарго. Франция убила просто. Леандро Пашота и Фоума. Очень сильный гол. Остана? А нет.
Blaming that goal on Alex. I don't know why, but it's your fault, Alex.
I apologize, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Кто вообще играет?
Well, let's see then what can happen here. Who's in the hot seat then for this side? Do they switch out again? Brandon, the team from the Netherlands, is...
Саудовская Аравия с голландцами. Опытные ребята против очень молодых. Леви Девир и Илмаз все-таки. МС Десари Абу Мака. 1-1 финны с Марокко так и играют. Второе место против 5-го места группы. Вот как финны на 5-м месте, очень сильная сборная. Им сейчас нельзя проигрывать, они уже французам проиграли.
Yep, a new day, a new team, it looks like here.
You can say about Finland, the two brothers, Kos and Kos to. They've never changed out. They have got a third player, but
Fin.
look to use it as of yet. Building up nicely is Finland. Just about defended well by Morocco.
I think for Mr. Dory as well, that conversation they had coming into this tournament of having a points tally to get rather than, okay, this is what we need to have for day one and day two. It just gives you that clear picture of knowing through that group stage, these are the points that we need to have to essentially ensure that we're going through. Because they had that such good day one, picking up a point here against Finland will still do enough just to say, yeah, we can keep doing what we're doing, we'll find those results and trickle through. However, we were speaking to yesterday, Brandon, you mentioned they want to top this group purely because Group D, they were a little bit fearful about who they might play in that round of 16.
And the magic number in Group B, I would say, is about 13 points. 13, you're safe. You might even be able to move that into maybe a third position. I don't think you'll be in the top two.
So Morocco then need one more win if Mike's calculations are anything to go right.
A couple draws of work too.
Back to then the USA taking on France. We did leave that, didn't we, when France just got that opening goal here. France, of course, in the blue. USA just troubling them a little bit out there on the left. Mike?
Хорошо.
Love for the US to get something by half. Just change the game a little bit. I'm telling you, it's France's time to drop some points today.
Ваня Миленкович Савич скидывает на раундине какой-то очень простой гол. Лэмс и Кинг Си-Джей. По идее, хорошая пара. Какой гол легкий. Бред Саута. Казахи будут играть. Нет, казахи, брат, стримят этот турнир. Это максимум. Мы же не прошли в этом.
Player outside of FIFA, what is he like as a captain?
In general, he's an opinionated FIFA player. You get a different types of players. Actually, if you're looking for a UK comparison, maybe a Stingray. I almost feel as if Anders is his own person. He kind of falls into maybe the text category as well, where they're going to give you some reactions, they'll give you some takeaways. If you interview him at the right time and the right moment, you might get a quote or two.
And CJ then happy just to sit back and let Lamps do the talking?
CJ's definitely more of the, I don't know if I want to say politically correct, but it would be rare to hear him say anything negative about anything. From a gameplay perspective to a personal side, it's just really not in his 101, his branding, his DNA, but Lamps be a little bit of a wild card. But we like that.
I'd really love you, Mike, to break down that goal for us later on.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой, 45 минуте. Фалили там на красную, по идее, Штаты.
The breakdown board. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I've got the right energy for it, especially if we keep carrying on. Maybe an upset against France here.
The host nation then, Saudi Arabia. Still can't find anything past. Oh, there we go, have it. The Netherlands, they couldn't find anything past the Netherlands. It went the other way, didn't it, Aggie?
They're definitely starting to play some very, very nice FIFA Netherlands, and I think with this win, potentially, they're definitely through together with Argentina, and then Saudi Arabia, Denmark and Canada will play.
Малайзия, походу, забила второй гол сборной Италии.
It's getting close as well, but again, it's going to come down to Canada if they can make.
Итальянцы до сих пор не забили Малайзии. Вот это шок. Малайзия выиграла Марокко и теперь выигрывает Италию. На дальнюю. Итальянцы. Ой, как он хорошо сдержал Делихтон. Красавчик. Хайлайс. Аргентина забивает третий гол. Сократ близко. Нет, он забивает дальний.
Argentina just saw it very quickly there. They've scored 5 goals yesterday, already today. Different Argentinian side. That's 6 goals they've registered in 2 days. Matthias Pinaro and Nicholas just had a good sleep, Alex?
It's an Argentinian side that we sat here yesterday on the couch saying they might not top the group, they're normally better when they get through to that 2 legs of FIFA. Now they're just saying, look, we're here, we want to score goals, show you something different, and yeah, maybe a big sleep, big breakfast. Back over to the Saudi Arabia-Netherlands game. Question for you, Aggie. I think this Netherlands team in Group A and Group B is probably the most talented 3 individuals on one team together.
I think so. I mean, when I'm comparing all the teams, I would say, especially when you're also looking over the last 3 years. You also have Levy, who's been extremely dominant. He didn't have as good of a 1v1 season this year, but the other years he's definitely been up there as one of the best, if not the best. Then you have the likes of Emre Yilmaz, who we will consider as a favorite also for next week. And you also have Manu, who's one of the biggest talent, who was also at the World Cup last year. So, I mean, I will agree and say yes, that is definitely.
I would like to make some counter arguments, if you will, if you'd allow it.
Love it.
I would also argue that Argentina's in that conversation. Correa is fantastic. You got the likes of Matias, you got the likes of Nicolas. Can't tell me that's not a strong three-piece. I would also argue for Brazil. Palinetto, Resende, PH Zin, the previous world champions in this competition. I would like to just insert their name in there, if I may.
Of course, still backing the Netherlands here. Just looking at like titles, qualifications for E-World Cups, etc.
And this season as well, 2 players in the E-World Cup, right? They're going to be on form. I think this is Netherlands' best chance to go far in this tournament because for some reason they always struggle to get past the round of 16 in the last 2 times they've competed.
Well, Qatar and the Netherlands matchup just finished. The Netherlands taking that one. Sorry, Denmark taking that one 1-0.
Голландцы закрыли хозяев турнира Саудовскую Аравию.
Players prefer playing 2v2 because they have that team element to it, opposed to 1v1 when they're just on their own. It's all down to them.
Кто-то забил.
Very mixed.
Кто же забил? Там слышно чьи-то эмоции. С чем они скидывают этот мяч? Ред, свести уже 3 минуты. Так, хайлайтс, кто-то забил на последний, видимо. Итальянцы забили Малайзии. Им нельзя было проигрывать. Повезло.
I don't think there's like a specific correct answer to that.
Big goal you just saw going there from Italy. 89th minute, Vinicius Junior. There was a change actually in the game as well. Katia subbed in for Danny Pitbull mid-game. And that point just does so much for them because if Malaysia got the 3, they suddenly come into the conversation. That point there just puts Italy on 9 and just keeps them still contention for staying out of the running race for that 4th spot. This game though could be a massive point for the USA.
There's a draw in that one as well. As the Italy-Malaysia game, a lot of the results in Group B sharing the points, which again isn't great for Group B at all, as we say with this one, where points definitely weren't shared there. Argentina 4 goals. Brandon said they didn't score many yesterday. Scored 4 in that. Was it 5 yesterday total, Brandon? And they've already scored 4 in that one there today.
Так, смотрим таблицу группы А. Аргентина также на 1-м месте, Голландия вырывается на 2-е. На 3-м Саудовская Аравия, это был важный матч, в котором саудиты проиграли. 4-е место Дания, они выиграли у Катара. Какой счет? Да, они 1-0 все выиграли. Теперь следующий матч у нас крутой. Аргентина, Голландия, матч за 1-е место. И Дания, Саудовская Аравия, матч за 3-4. Так, группа. Италия в ничью, Малайзия 6. Все играют 1-1, офигеть. Капец, Малайзия упустила победу.
You tell me, and then I can answer these questions properly. Because when you look at some of the all-time greats, we got those guys into action. We got Hall of Famers in action.
Кто за Швецию играет? У них тот же самый состав, как и в том году. Оли Боли, Оли Лито и Оптолле.
This has been intense for me, okay? This has been intense. Watch it. Stop it, Rachel.
We have there's 10 minutes, Mike. Come on, we've got time. I mean for you boys. I feel Mike doesn't want to commentate over this in case it's the curse of the commentator. He's shaking his head. He's getting very nervous about this one. I won't go to him. Alex, I'll go to you instead.
I'm just eager because I think if you get a winner here,
it's group deciding.
It's group
deciding. Yes, and the sofa's going. Nobody's safe.
I'm gonna help you out here, Mike. France has been amazing so far in this competition.
Thank you.
And,
keep going, August.
I mean, we're looking at. I would like to suggest a nickname.
Пусть лучше пройдет Малайзия и остальные три хорошие страны. Я не хочу, чтобы проходили Штаты и Финны. Штаты точно нет.
No? Okay, you gave me
But you like the French names, so I mean, surely you can approve.
Давай.
I'm with it. I think it's a good cosign.
It is all France though, knocking on the door with 3 minutes remaining, working that on the edge of the box. Mbappe reverse elastico. Ooh, come on!
Отскок.
Didn't know I was cheering for the post today, but that's where we're heading. Even 1 point is good for the U.S. in this result, because everybody else has to go through France.
Молодец, еще на ускорение теряет на 90.
Is that going to be the curse?
I think that might be.
Oh no.
The US giving the ball back over to France and saying,
USA, дали им шанс на последней минуте. Клостерман. Нет. Есть последние. Нет, давай назад. Рафаля, удар щеткой. Нет, пас назад. Лёрис, зубастик. Как же везет Штатам. Нужно до удара доводить.
Defend this USA, big
Yeah.
win.
All right, we're good.
Joe Van Dijk держал.
Okay, and we move.
It's a big point, but all the other teams drew as well, so they all got big points there, Mike. I hate
But
to
they
say
didn't
it.
draw against France.
I hate to, just be the negative Nelly in the camp here, but USA, they take a point, as do Finland and as do Malaysia. Anyway, let's move on then from that, shall we? Because obviously we've played 7 matches so far. Spen's down there, ready to speak to the boys from the USA, who Mike will be eager to hear their thoughts after that one.
Yes, I'm here in the USA camp. 2 draws there in opening first 2 games. How are you feeling?
It's a tough one. I think we were the better team in this game. They played well, but I feel like it's 2 points drop for us. I can't lie.
Still feels like a marked improvement from yesterday, doesn't it? I mean, France, for example, you just played there. They're the only unbeaten team left in the tournament. You lost to them yesterday. You also drew with Italy, who you also lost to yesterday. So there are improvements, Lambs.
Yeah, of course. I mean, France and Italy are probably the 2 favorite teams in the group that have undeniable individual quality, and especially with Fuma, who's one of the best 2v2 players. It's hard, so we take the 2 points. We could have probably won this game, Italy as well, but we have 3 more games to get us through the group.
And you've got 3 teams level on 6 points, and you've got to play both of them in Malaysia and Finland coming up. Simple case of win those games and you go through, right?
As you said, win, we qualify. Lose, we don't. Let's do it.
Keep your eye on it. That is Team
Кингси же
USA.
сказал, все просто. Если мы выиграем, мы проходим. Если нет, мы
for me, one
вылетаем.
of the standout performances from yesterday. Obviously unbeaten in their first 5 games, but lost the first game today, followed up with a draw.
FIFA 24.
I think we're in a new tournament again. Once again, every day is different, and every day you should go give it your all.
Томаш Российский, Франк Рибери, Зику, Димитр Бербатов, Бобби Чарльтон, уже подтвержденные иконы и герои.
Eamon went out and we put Edem in instead. They did solid, I think, for a substitution. So the draw against Finland, I think it's a little bit in their luck. They scored a corner. For the rest, they didn't really have any chances. And we scored 100% made goal. We were almost celebrating, and it just went to the wrong side of the post. So all good.
You said yesterday your aim was to show improvements. You know, last time out, not getting out the group stage. This time to get out. You're in a very good position to do that. You're 3 points behind France, who are leading the group, but you've got a 3-point lead on 3rd position. Would you take 2nd place now, or are you still very much aiming for top?
We're always aiming for the top, and if we win the last game against France, if it stays like this, we take the lead over them based on the head-to-head result that we have. So nothing is played in this group. Even the 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think, even can still make it out. So we're all good. We're chilling, and we just go with the flow and try to get some points on the board.
Fantastic stuff. Best of luck in your next few games. That's obviously 2 teams from Group B. That group's a lot more open for me right now than Group A, which I think it's not over, but it seems like we know who the 4 teams are going to be, I think, Rachel.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Mr. Dory there.
Сейчас у них пауза на минут 10 и заключительные 2 раунда.
The team's chances, nothing to worry about just yet. He said he kind of thinks this is a new tournament, a new day, and coming in a little bit nervous on day 2. Aggie, should the nerves have been put to the side already after playing 5 games yesterday? Did you expect the Moroccans to be nervous here on day 2?
In the first game, you're always going to have those nerves. I think it's pretty natural. So I can accept that kind of, so to speak. But I think after that, you're just going to go for it. And I think the results showed it as well. I like the confidence there, almost speaking as Morocco was through the groups and they were thinking about just beating France to win the group. I think they still have some work to do, some tough games coming up, so they have to be ready and the nerves have to be almost gone.
Mike, we heard from the USA as well, they just got to win, simple as that.
And I agree with their analysis in that matchup as well. I think they outplayed France in terms of some key opportunities. I was very much so dialed on that game, even as we had a lot rotating through the main games that were live on stream. And it's good. You can build from that. And I think the best case scenario here is that you get to control your outcome. You get to control your future. They're going up against Malaysia. They're going up against Finland. If you win those games, you get positive results. You see it out. And a lot of times you aren't gifted that. You need different scenarios to go for you. I need a draw here. I need a loss there. And then I have to win. This is not the situation. You control it. Shake my hand. You've done a good job to get to this point. Now let's go get this. Something positive insert there. I was going to go get this trophy, get these points. We need more on the board.
Go and get a knockout spot because it's still very much for Team USA to take. Well, like Spencer mentioned then, Group A kind of looks like we've already got our top four. I know it's
Пока у нас перерыв по матчам FIFA, будем смотреть Eleanor Bakkinson Jabber.
Netherlands, Saudi and Denmark. Very much now, they look like the teams to go through. Canada are the team that will be trying to knock them out. Mathematically, Qatar, there's only 9 points there. They can't actually beat Denmark to that spot. So unfortunately, they're out of it now. Whereas Group B, it's a little bit tighter, isn't it? France and Morocco, well, Morocco think they're through. You know, maybe you don't call that just yet. Whereas Italy, USA, Finland and Malaysia, look at the bottom three there. It's so tight, Brandon.
No, absolutely. I think, look, this next round will cement a lot of potential storylines. Morocco beat Italy. I think that we can just sit here and obviously say France, Morocco, you are through. What the USA do against Finland is big, and then Malaysia up against France. There could be some late movers here, but that fourth place still up for grabs.
Do you feel, though, Mike, because Qatar now are taking on Canada, the bottom two in Group A. Qatar now, they can't go through. They're playing freely. Do they just go to try and spice up that group? Do they know that
I'm still playing for wins about Qatar. We'll see how that plays out. It's up to Canada to kind of take that result. And I actually think the biggest takeaway when you look at the results there that were on screen is that there's three teams that really stand out of being another notch above. You've got the likes of Argentina, you've got the likes of Netherlands, which is separation. They're able to score, they're not conceding, and they're starting to separate themselves from other teams. And then on the other end as well, I think France is in that same category. Similar story, very high levels of consistency, and I would not want to see any of those teams in now a best of two, or you're looking at the aggregate scorelines where you got to go through those two legs.
We did see that last year as well, didn't we? Brazilians had a really bad day one, came back through, never topped the table, Mike, and the same actually goes for Italy, and they were semi-finalists last year. So you can't always look at the people at the top. I know in this instance we're, going to probably be pretty negative to not back Argentina with, what have they got, 16 points there, but like Mr. Dory said, today's a new tournament. You never know how it's going to go tomorrow.
And I love a stat and a metric, and I still look back at the E Club. From the beginning, RB Leipzig looked good, and they ended up looking good in day 2 and day 3 and day 4, and they lifted the trophy. And I'm going to take that same sort of logic here when I'm seeing consistency, I'm seeing goal difference, I'm seeing good defense, good offense, set pieces, just certain movements, micromanaging. It shows that you practice specifically for this event and everything's clicking. If you're able to do it on back-to-back days, why not carry that onward?
Well, can the Netherlands then get a result against Argentina, who are sitting at the top of that table? That's the big game, in my opinion, here as well, between those two sides. Alex, I'm going to come to you for this one. Netherlands have got to get a few results now.
Yeah, Netherlands got to get a few results just to kind of go for seeding and give themselves that best possible chance going into the knockout stages. But also, as you said, we mentioned with Denmark and is there a possible chance? Anders said they're going to get grouped. It looks very difficult for Canada to do anything really in that side of things. You'd need results going elsewhere for you. It is pretty much now for that top 4 in Group A, all about who can get first, second, third and fourth and just have that seeding position.
Well, I teed this one up. Should we go and see that game? The Netherlands, Argentina. Argentina at the moment have had 2 great matches to start day 2. Nicholas there and Matthias Bonanno. And Mike, wasn't it last year? The Nicholas was close to saying he was going to retire. If he wins this here, this week on Friday, Would that be enough in his locker?
He wants, yeah, if he gets a FIFA E World Cup, I think the retirement conversation starts to resurface. I think he wants that, he needs that. It's part of that legacy. When you say you're all done with FIFA, if you have that under your belt, at least one of them, you feel like you accomplished something really special. You were unique, and you could walk away and say, undisputed, you're the best FIFA player in the world for that year. August has had that lovely claim for a year. The right to the claim.
He kind of needs that as well. I would hate to see Nicholas retire without this massive accolade next to his
Так,
name.
начали у нас матч Голландия и Аргентина.
He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't go about a big trophy, whether it's this one or whether it's maybe next week. I've got something to throw in there. I think Argentina last year on paper.
3 матча группового этапа.
Last year, he Champions League winner, both made E World Cup last year. Matías Pinano, yes, won the La Liga this year, but has not been as good as he was last year.
Well, that's why they're more motivated then.
Well, I think it's clear. I think
because they haven't had a good as year.
To Brandon's point, I think it's very clear when you look at Matías Pinano's 2v2 success, the fact that not only the E-Champions League, but they played against each other in the finals of the E-Champions League, and then a tag team duo from last year. And sometimes, I think with them maybe not having the same type of year, they're even more focused on this competition though. It does motivate you, and we know FIFA can be very harsh, very cruel. You don't take those chances, you don't create those margins, and that's the separation as we see Canada, Qatar. We talked about Canada needing this finesse shot, open up your body, back corner, 1-0. And I do have a little bit of a mathematical equation for all of you. Canada, if they were to win out, they're on 5 points now, 9 points available for them. They'd be on 14 points. Netherlands, Argentina are going to be out of reach. So now it comes down to what's Saudi doing and what's Denmark doing. Because Denmark comes in with 11 points, Saudi with 12. You need some help.
Well, right now, Denmark, the other team in red, are finding themselves 1 to the good against Saudi Arabia. We saw the result from Saudi Arabia yesterday with Denmark, beating them comfortably. We jump over into this game, Mike.
Come on then. Yeah, you love a little near post, goalkeeper movement gone wrong. 15th minute, Mbappe, he salutes, I salute. The Americans are starting to make that dream a reality.
A question for you, Mike. If you're the US, if you got told, if you beat Finland and Malaysia going into this tournament, you're going to guarantee yourself food to that knockout stage. You take that, right?
That all day. You take that.
Yeah, and we just saw, I just saw an incredible goal over here, and it's for the home soil favorites here, Saudi Arabia.
Do we dare to say who it came against?
It was against Denmark. I'm not too biased to credit other nations as well, and can't wait to all of you watch the goal because it's really, really good, and I know that Mike is going to enjoy it, Alex is going to enjoy the goal as well. So many nice details in it, so hopefully we'll get to see that goal in just a second.
Yeah, as we're saying, as Aggie was saying, there's been 2 goals in that game. 20 minutes in, Denmark against Saudi Arabia. When we can see the highlights from Group A, we'll do it right now. What a goal it was.
Well, this is that comeback then, isn't it, from Saudi Arabia. They're the home side, just to get them very much back in it against the Danes there. This is a massive game, isn't it? Third taking on fourth. Not much between these two here.
Just sat him down, Alex, didn't he?
That defender went flying. Absolutely flying. The shimmy back on to that near post. And there's a lot of roars going around the arena. We'll find out where that goal has come in just a second.
Well, I think it's a goal that could mean potential qualification in Group B. Italy against Morocco. Which way has the goal gone? Morocco slowly picking up some form. Finland back in this one. They're still in the hunt for that 4th place in Group B. This is the other goal that we saw as we were talking about. Italy, Morocco. It's Morocco. They've opened up the account here, 30 minutes on the clock. You heard that massive roar.
Lovely body feint, extra pass, near post finish. Morocco taps it home. And again, this leaves the door wide open. If Morocco beats Italy, Italy stays on 9 points. You got the Finland-USA matchup. We're watching Malaysia close to see what happens in that, how that kind of unfolds. But this group has gotten very shifty.
Canada as well have got another goal in their matchup against Qatar. 2 goals now. 2-0 that result would take them to 8 points. Still wouldn't get them in the top 4, but just closes that gap slightly.
And all Canada have got to do in this game is pick up those 3 points and give yourself that chance going into the last 2 games in that group. Right now they're delivering on the side that they want, and this was the equaliser for Finland. A massive roar from that camp. Defenders just couldn't clear their lines, couldn't sort their feet out. Finland pounced on it. Henry strikes them back to all level.
And something that's massively important here for Canada is that their last 2 games, one of them is against Denmark, and the following game is against Saudi Arabia. So these are the teams that someone would need to be surpassed in order to take that position. So they might have a little more input and power as to where those points get spread and where they're allocated or points missed.
So this game we're seeing right now, Denmark, Saudi Arabia, for Canada, if you want a chance, a draw here would be better for them. Is that right?
Correct, because that would leave Saudi on 13, Denmark on 12. They're still going to need help. At the end of the day, Canada can't just win out. It does come down to those results, but the fact that they also play Denmark and Saudi, at least you can control those games in theory because you're going to need the victory anyway.
One thing worth mentioning as well is that Canada and Denmark drew yesterday. So head-to-head, if then Canada were to beat Denmark, Canada would surpass them, while Canada lost to Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Canada is rooting for Saudi Arabia in their match against Denmark right now. And just as we speak about it, Saudi Arabia on 2-1. And with a win here for Saudi Arabia, they also confirmed their spot in the last 16. So a vital match right here. And Denmark really is feeling the pressure now. This is their time to show what they're made of.
There's 2 stories here, isn't there? Italy maybe falling down into a difficult place, and as you say, Naga, Denmark, they do not pick up results. It's not looking good for those guys. Netherlands 0, Argentina 0 when this match took place yesterday. It was a 0-0. So I hope we're going to see at least 1 goal in it.
And it's also at halftime for Finland in the US, currently tied 1-1. Surely a goal, yes indeed. And Netherlands, another day in the office. Again, this is really more of a showcase matchup with Netherlands and Argentina. It won't necessarily impact them going through. They're both going to secure that spot, and it comes down to maybe who's in better form, who's really the best between the two. It's just watching high-level, informed teams with some of the best players in the world. But what I was going to say in the US and the Finland game is that a draw I don't think helps either of them. It's just not ideal. We talk about it a lot with Rich, but draws are deadly. Deadly draws.
At some point, you've got to start winning. And this was that goal come back. Henry, I mentioned it yesterday, time and time again. His item just on that left-hand side, on that left foot, he finds the back of the net time and time again.
I'd love a partnership of Henry and R9 up front, wouldn't you?
I'm just happy that this Henry came into FIFA 23 and really made such a difference. It's been multiple years since we've seen him in any sort of rotation. If you date back, we used him up front, FIFA 17, FIFA 18, he ended up being some sort of unorthodox center mid, and then he vanished. He was ghosted until this new iteration, as you see Finland pop off. And of course, when I start talking, this is what seems to happen. The U.S. concedes, and this is a massive game. I don't know that the U.S. can drop points against Finland and talk when you're looking at losing, because it not only is a loss there, but it allows Finland to kind of jump.
Yeah, Finland then looking to jump over the USA. If that result stays as it is, unfortunately, they'd go to 9, and the USA would sit on 6. And this, though, does affect that result as well, because they just get 1 point each. These 2 teams are also in the same group, which is Group B here. France just kind of fallen off a little bit in the last 2 matchups there. Maybe again they kind of go, well, I think I'm through. I've got 15 points. I kind of can take my foot off the pedal and just have a little bit of rotation, try out a few things, Brandon.
They can put the controller down, France. They're through. Regardless, I think, of what happens in these next few games, they are through. No matter what happens. If anything, it's a big game for Malaysia. But back to that game that we said, Finland, USA. That game cannot afford to be a draw for either team. Has to be a big 3 points for either of those sides. We jump around Canada. We said that they could still be in the conversation. They're scoring goals, which might help their goal difference tally if needed. They've just found a third against Qatar. See the build up there, a little extra pass, finds the ongoing runner. That's 55 minutes on the clock. Canada leading against Qatar, who unfortunately are struggling to put up a fight. Over to this game now, Saudi Arabia against Denmark. There is an attack for Denmark if he's onside, he's not.
I think just a draw for Denmark makes a huge difference, just to have that gap on 4 points and not 3. So they could actually afford to lose that head-to-head matchup with Canada potentially. So they're going to be chasing that, while Saudi Arabia just want to get that extra goal to secure their place in the knockout. But overall, super tight in both groups, and especially Group B, where we still don't know who's going to join France.
France and Saudi to find a third. Defended well by Denmark. Let's jump over to another game if we can. We'll give you the latest in Finland against the USA. No doubt that is the biggest game of the round so far. Finland still in front, 2-1 after being 1-0 down in this tie. Pause has been cued by the US.